Hello and welcome back. This is the first stream back from the trip out to the wedding. As I just brought up to Twitch, if you're watching this on YouTube, this is going to be a short stream, so this is just going to be a two-parter here. It's going to be an hour, 2 hours, broken into 2 hours into two parts. This should be the part going up on the first, and the second part will be the part going up on the second. So watching this on YouTube, this was streamed on the 29th, so this was only streamed like 2 days prior to when you're watching it. If you're watching it on Twitch, obviously. You're either watching the VOD or you're watching it live on the 29th. There was a patch change, so as we open up the stream here, we're actually going to be checking things in the city to make sure things are working, because there has been a couple minor patch changes. Notable difference is, and it probably isn't updated yet, although it may be updated. We'll see in a moment. Actually, I think it is updated because we're seeing a fairly large law effect here on the slaves. Prior, or maybe it's not because I'm misreading it, but anyway, prior to one of the minor patches here, the guard effect. Let's see if I can see the guard effect. One of our units should be set on guard duty. You're set on guard duty. You're on active duty. Okay. The guard effect was looking at the entire population for determining guard effectiveness, and not just slaves when applying it to slaves. But yeah, so the effectiveness of applying it to slaves was much worse than it should have been, or at least that's what was presumed. That has since, of course, been changed. So that's something we need to check up on. It looks like now, assuming that's working correctly, we have 100% guard power in the city now, so our slaves should be a little bit more passive, as we should be able to apply more sort of tyranny upon them, keep them a little bit more in line. Although at the moment we've got them assigned to be either imprisoned if they do disrespect or theft, and or executed if they murder someone, which they should do fairly rarely anyway. And then the plebeians, this is something we're going to try to work on probably this stream, is increasing the count of active guards if we can do it, which means we just need the odd jobber count up so I can transition odd jobbers to active guardsmen. That way we can actually... the whole point of this run was to run the tyranny mechanics, and as you can see, I'm doing a very poor job of that, because we're currently doing like 3.7 or 4% tyranny here. And that's mostly coming from like the guard power is so weak. We don't have enough guards to properly intimidate people into following the law. The good news at the moment is everyone likes the city well enough that they're kind of following the law because they're following the law, not because they're being forced to by the guard forces here. So one way to raise guard power, other than to put out more guard posts right now, I've only got 2 guard posts out. And actually, if I probably want to put on more guards, I probably need more guard posts as well. One of the 2 ways to improve guard, or one of the primary ways to improve guard power is to put more people on active guard duty. So once we get more units trained up, having them assigned active guard duty is the way to solve that. The other thing I think that was changed has to do with import and export depots. I forget if it was the export depots or the import depots that got changed. One of them got inverted. I think it was the export depot. Because that seems reasonable. I have it set to 49%. It should probably be 50%. But 50% of the stockpile on tools, and then set to export. And I'm not sure if this was auto-flipped is what's going on here. I think this may have been auto-flipped. It's only exporting when we are... Yeah, I think this was flipped, so I need to take this down. So the change here was you're pulling it up. The more of your inventory you're trying to export, whereas prior it was how much did you want to reserve. I think that was what was flipped on the export depots here, so we got to go around and adjust those. It's a small change, but it's a change that I should be aware and work on here at the beginning here before I forget about. Oh, and I set these to export 50-50. We can leave that on 50-50. You're not exporting anything. You're exporting cut stone. And yeah, this was probably biased the other way around, so let's let's do it that way around. Okay, so I think that's the two things I needed to remember to check with the new patch. So, for slavery purposes, I have enough guards to keep the slaves in line. And in fact, I have enough guards to keep more slaves in line. So I should be willing to have people, as a punishment, become slaves. I'm still going to keep to not imprison, or not enslaving the humans. They're our primary population. They're going to be the people sort of ruling over the lessers, although we will have them thrown in prison if they get uppity. Everyone else, I think we're going to swap them from prison jobs over to slavery. This means it will be a little bit more tyrannical. If we reach the point where we have too many slaves, I can always free them to bring slave submission temporarily up, and then do like a transition over to either execute or prison to keep them in line. Also, enslaving them is a little more tyrannical than imprisoning them. Before I get too carried away, however, with going real tyrannical, the thing I need to do is I need to get the guard force stronger. So we got 200 odd jobbers here, and that's with 400 something people training. 110 training. So I think I have 100 training facilities and then 10 archery facilities. So that's what's going on there. Yeah, so there's 10 archers training. And again, I've been out for a wedding for about a week, so I am trying to relearn my bases and scrolling around it to figure out where I've put stuff. Where have I either located or mislocated my important facilities? So yeah, we've got 100 training facilities in batches of 20, so 5 training facilities. I think I'm going to also try to diversify the guard. Right now I think I've got the guard basically all human except for the archers. I'm going to get some guard facilities out so that we can sort of have each community have some people training as well. So we'll get some Amivians trained, we'll get some Garmethi trained, we'll get some Gratonians trained. I may expand the number of archers we have with the lobby. That way we can have more guard forces while expanding the city size. The other thing I might try to do, if I remember and find enough time during the stream, is well, actually, this is one of the things I saw in the patch notes. Apparently, children were getting into brawls, which is one of the reasons the brawl rate seemed really, really high on release version 71. Because children were getting into brawls. That has been turned off. Children are a little less violent. That might not be the only cause why we're having brawls. I think we're still having brawls. Yeah, so the humans apparently... The brawling has been adjusted. Humans apparently do occasionally brawl with the Nandorians. So the brawl rate is pretty low, and it's not mutual. So the Nandorians don't brawl humans, the humans brawl with the Nandorians. So there's an argument that I actually need to separate the Nandorians also out of the main neighborhood. At some point I should bring them out of the main neighborhood. Put them on this also if I want to keep them growing. Because Dondorians do not make children, so I have to get them in via migration, and if they're getting murked, the loss of 4 fulfillment points is enough to keep them from growing until they stop getting killed. That's one of the reasons why the Nandorians are as small as they are in the city right now. How much of the change that is from previous patches is a little bit up for debate. Because I've definitely had Dondorians merged with humans and not be a problem before, but it is on version 71 here. And then yeah, I think we want the Nandorians focusing mostly on the most refined goods, primarily our weapon manufacturing, and probably get them out of the quarries in the long run. If I'm going to segregate them from the humans, because the humans are fairly well apportioned. We're working on our current cuts masonries, but if we move the Nandorians away, then they'll be in a bad position for actually going to the cutstone spot. But yeah, probably move them out and try to get them focused on carpentry, smithies. That way I can get them to make weapons better. Okay, so where to get started? Oh, and also at the same time, I think we were going around. I think we got all the food stalls upgraded. Yeah, all the food stalls are upgraded. I think we were in the middle of upgrading markets. Yeah, that's going to be our pots going forward. We'll upgrade you. Upgrade you. Still going to keep upgrading markets. I don't have the tech for that. That wouldn't be too bad, though. Don't have the tech for that. Just trying to remember which techs I've got. I don't have an official word. Hearts. So one, and we need some more metal to do the other one, but that shouldn't be too hard to do. In the last stream, if I'm remembering, we did just about well, we used up all the government points, expanding the empire. That is something else I might need to adjust going forward, is I think we just finished getting them all leveled up to large town. I haven't necessarily used the workforce, so we're going to get potentially more cotton coming in. I can get more clay and stone. I can get more fruit coming in. Feed our people. Do I have a fruit warehouse that will... Yeah, I think I have a large fruit warehouse. Okay. Let's go ahead and get... I'm going to get some more training grounds. So we want some over by the Mivians. There's one, two. Put one there. I want one over by where we're doing... Oh, now I'm trying to remember the Garthemi housing. Plop you like so. North Settlement or South Settlement? We'll do South Settlement for Cretonians. I might do more archery range for the Tlalopi at some point. Humans and Nidorians are still kind of merged. At some point, we'll split them up. Or let's try to split them up. We'll see how successful I am at doing that. I remember getting around to doing that. I suppose the other thing we can do... The Nidorian opinion on stone mining. I don't think I need stone at the moment. I think we're importing it from tax-wise. I'm just going to property earned this many for it, right? Okay, they don't like mining stone, but they're not militant about it. They're neutral. If anything, I should probably try to get Garthemi mining the stone if I'm going to mine stone on the map. Okay. Oh, which reminds me, that's what we've got over here. That's the Garthemi are right next to the stone deposit. Yeah. Or one of the stone deposits. We've just got multiple stone deposits. Well, I suppose that would be the other thing, is I could try to put them in the forest over here to mine the Scythian. The Nidorians like mining the Scythian, right? Yeah, Scythian, and they are tied for liking mining it the best. Okay. So yeah, if we want someone mining Scythian, then we probably want them to be mining it. And I've built over the other deposit, yeah. So if I'm mining Scythian, it's that deposit. Okay, so let's unpause. Let's let the guys build out those training facilities. We do have more troops training, and I need to... if we're going to continue growing the city, I need to train even more. Because I think they want... Well, all the groups want a quarter of the city to be trained as the militia. Not necessarily on active guard duty, but trained. Yeah, army fulfillment is 25%. So that's a quarter of the city. And we've got 500 of what would effectively be 750. So more would not be amiss. Ah, that custom metal because I upgraded them already. Okay. Wait for the metal imports to work themselves out. Oh, and I have a bunch of innovation and a not insignificant amount of knowledge to spend. I suppose another thing we'll have to do at somebody's work safety. Because if we're trying to be a tyrannical monster, then we need our population to not die in the mines. As weird as that sounds. Well, we could work our way down to laboratory tools. Might think about that. So if I'm going tyranny, I don't necessarily need to run... Well, probably want to run pillars and statues. I don't necessarily need to run as many services as I normally would. Probably want to get down to health at some point. I'm running makeshift weapons. I'm running wood and stone, not metal for right now. Which makes sense, because metal smelting is pretty terrible at the moment. I'm not sure where I want to put that innovation point. So I got 120 something, but... Okay, so we're waiting for metal to be imported. Because I spent it on upgrading the hearth, and then I assigned it also to build more training facilities. Alright, so let's turn the speed down. Doing this. I'm going to create new units. No, let me actually pause it because it's auto-assigned to the wrong type. But yeah, basically that. So, Vivians, for the moment, I'll train up what we can train. No, I suppose it's technically 1/4 trained, so I might as well train up a quarter of the population. A quarter of the Vivians is people. Guardsmen, we want some... Also Cretonians as well. We actually have more Cretonians. I'm not going to go... Because I also want to put these guys on guard duty. I'm not going to make these particularly large units. We'll go 50 for the Cretonians. Oops, that was edit, not create. So I just swapped my Amivians over from... Okay, there we go. Okay, another batch. Edit you... 50 Cretonians. And I'm not going to actually do any Dorians yet. We'll do some Garmithi. We'll make the Garmithi batch smaller. We'll go down to 20 for them. Same thing with the... no, we'll leave it. I'll actually go a little bit bigger. We'll go 30 anyway. Oops, I didn't take. That way we can have some diversity in the guard out and wandering about. I'm not taking every last human. If anything, we probably want the guard to be mostly non-human, weirdly. So I can keep most of the humans for working in labs and libraries and stuff. And then how's the food stockpile? Because I think I need to get health up. Yeah, I do need improved health. And food servings is probably going to be the easiest way to do that. Without changing a lot. Or I can tech into medicine. Do I have what I need for medicine? Almost. 25 knowledge short. Although I'm a little short on money and I'd be importing tools to do that. Yeah, let's turn food servings up to improve health. Start small to half a serving to everyone. And we will be nice enough to serve it to the slaves as well. They also apply a health malus to the city, so want their food serving stuff as well. Not because we necessarily want the slaves to be happy, but because we want the slaves to not contribute to unhealthiness. And I can check out the food stockpiles. Still definitely producing food. If anything, I am not adequately storing food, and we're baking the bread into rations. Probably want to do some more ration making. I've got about surplus 600 bread that's just going to waste. And this is, so that means I want like another 100 people working on ration making. Okay. Just max it in the one ration maker we have for the moment. I'll eat a little bit more bread. Apparently it's actually overcommitted. Okay. Hey neighbor, have someone warning claiming to know me. Fellow Black Eye. Okay, well let's pause. Because I'm not going to immediately just pay up because someone's demanding. How big is the Black Eye? Fellow Black Eye. They actually outnumber us. Fair enough. They will get paid off then. The moment we're going to be dealing with people by... Yeah, we'll pay up. I've got the grain literally fallowing in the fields at the moment, so. Okay, so I can let more humans in. That wouldn't be too bad. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's turn up the auto-migrate. That doesn't do anything. Okay. There we go. I migrated in. And yes, I do have enough odd jobbers. Might actually need more food production, although I probably should diversify rather than clamping down all on one. Yeah, let's do a little bit of variety. Let's get, get more fish to start. This area can become a little bit of fishery. So, one other one here. I wanted to capture that area. It does need to be a contiguous area, which because of the clay mine there means I need to probably actually do an overland connection between the two sides, which is fine. Could do a very big warehouse here, but we're not necessarily going to be making that much fish. We'll do a decently large one. Auxiliary. That'll work out. again, I want to make these... I don't necessarily need to make the fisheries particularly large, but I'm going to try to make them fairly large. And again, these will mostly be worked by amphibians. So ideally, probably actually want them mostly on the west bank, not in the east. Do some storage. That'll fit reasonably well there. Do I need to sign a little bit more land? I think the answer to that is yes. We'll sign it down there. The auxiliaries technically don't need to be accessed during normal operations. There we go. And I'll do one more fishery, basically expanding up both ends. Here's what I'm working on. The more foolproof way to probably do this would probably be to expand, well, not expand, upgrade the healthcare system, upgrade the physicians. But as I said earlier, I'm not doing that because I don't have, well, I'm importing tools. And our cash situation is already a little threadbare. Yeah, I think it's improving because we are now getting more taxes from the Empire, but it's improving, and it's improving fast enough to be solved are two different problems. Here we go, that'll work. Okay, trying to speed up, get those done. Again, they'll provide more fish. We got fruit import coming in. Probably go with some more meat. Question is, do we do globdine? Because the amphibians are willing to move in. The tilapia are also willing to move in as well. Do I want more leather? Yeah, so arguably, if we're going to expand the libraries, we want more leather. If we want to expand leather armor production, I want more leather. The bowyers apparently use leather, so the answer to do I want more leather is probably yes. Not gonna use that coal deposit. Not planning on using that coal deposit either. Go over the forest down south? Probably. Probably what I should do. I would make this more leather as well as more meat. I'm not that short on meat. And it's not, I wasn't intending to make that the main food source. I'm intending to make bread the main food source. Maybe overcommitted to turning into rations, to be fair. Given I've just raised the food consumption rate as well. Okay, health is looking... Now that I've done the food servings, health is looking a little bit better. Still looking at probably want to do those positions in the long run. The metal's back in. Which is... Okay, the training facility is done. So we're back to upgrading hearts. And I suppose that is the last hearth, at least until I go and move the Nandorian central area. Gotta decide where I want to do them, or put them, whether I want to put them close to a mine, or there's maybe an argument, for example, if I wanted them to mine, say, the gems, to put their center closer to the gem location, if I want to put the Sith one, and move them out of the human area. Although the Nandorians apparently aren't dying quick enough, so we'll let more move in if they're willing to move in. Oh, those fisheries got real quick. So I probably want some more Cotoni or more Vivians coming in. Let's go up to 300. We'll move in. Turn the units be down. Am I wood positive? I am still wood positive. Yeah, I think I will follow up with the pasture expansion. There we go. So we get you going there. We have another one over here. I'm not too worried about building the forest over here, because if I can, I don't really want to import wood. Small little access way between the two fields here, two pastures here. Max width dimension already reached. So I can go down a bit. I can't go width anymore. Yeah, we'll do that. Oh. There we go. And again, that'll be more meat. So, it looks like we're fish positive. We should be fruit positive when the fruit arrives. I think I probably need to set another warehouse up for the fruit. Where do I have my fruit warehouse? That's a good question. Your warehouse accepting nothing. That's probably not supposed to be the case. You're probably supposed to be a warehouse accepting bows. Let's start off with that being the logic. You only got 3 crates. What else do the bowyer need? Wood and leather, so presumably wood and leather. And we'll have a get pull for wood, and a get pull for leather. And then it's fine that you're the main source of bows. There's my... Oh, because presumably I was assuming we'd retire some orchards for fruit if I make local fruit. So that's fine. Yeah, okay. We'll see how that fills up. We will set the priority. Hopefully that gets delivered there. And not dumped at the throne room. It'd probably get dumped at the throne room, let's be fair. Yeah, I should be food positive when our fruit harvest comes in the fall. And by fruit, I mean the fruit tax comes in the fall. $50 there. And the new one's built. Yeah, the new ones aren't built, and there's 100 there. Plus presumably some for services. Probably should actually go a little bit higher on the gloppy. Let's set this to 300 for migration. I gotta go a little bit higher because that's not including the children. Okay, 350. Here we go. And I got 250 odd jobbers at the moment. How goes the training? Slow. Which is kind of to be expected. Oh, interesting. Are you... No, you're not fully trained. You're minimally trained, not fully trained. They've had their 10 days, they've not had their 100 days. Actually, how big of a garrison is that going to be when it's fully trained? 600... So, or 3 200s to 600. 4... It's not quite 50, but we'll say 450s is another 200. So I actually need another 200. I want to go up to like 4,000 guys in the city. I think I'll raise a couple more, or start training a couple more human 50s. Create... yeah, that works. That's probably what we want trained up, given enough time and patience. Because I do want to put more on active guard duty. So I can get a little bit more effectiveness of the tyranny value when the time comes for that. My Lord Bennett's is spotted raiding our border settlements. Okay. So this is something that can kind of happen. I'm not too worried about. Deploy the field army to deal with them. None of my regions here have anything really to prevent them from being raided. Wait, richness versus exposure versus garrison and stuff. I haven't basically done anything to protect them. Other than having one field army that marches around deals with the problem. And of course, we're like manual command of the battle here. Should be a fairly enough easy battle, and of course we will take prisoners. Or I suppose actually technically we are trying to be chivalrous, so maybe I don't take prisoners. See how it treats the raiders. Okay, so I probably want the batch of humans up front. 5 ranks deep. Reserves in the rear. Start the battle, let them come to us. We outnumber them, although not by very much, honestly. Although our regional units have been sitting there training, so they're basically maxed out their melee training. We've given them maximum spears. They could do with a little bit more armor, but that's because armor is a little bit more expensive to procure than improvised spears. Those archers in the back? Those are archers in the back, okay. We'll get the guy in the front to surrender, and then we'll go charge the archers. Maybe not optimal way to do this, but it's the way we're going to do it. Things compromised. They're outnumbered. Here they go. Rapidly, cohesion's falling apart, and their melee unit. Our smaller units detached and redirecting them at the archers. And then once the otherwise crippled melee unit here is finished off, the larger unit will come in to reinforce. 9 of them are still technically deployed. But 9 versus 98 should go in the favor of the 98, so not too worried. Is that the rest of them breaking over here? Yes, that was the rest of them breaking over here. Okay. Yep, should be a nice, easy battle. Get these raiders off our land. We'll loot their equipment, obviously. Then the question comes down to, do we go for the chivalrous option? Or do we go for the non-chivalrous option? There goes that one breaking. Good to see. Redeploy for the other one. What are you left to end? They are all what's left in the other one. Okay. Formation together. Close enough. Go to the charge. Formation together. Order the charge. And there goes the last one dissolving. Lost 5 guys to get 135 raiders to surrender and or die. So we can capture them from chivalry penalty. Humans do like chivalry. Probably wouldn't execute them, so it's a toss-up between do I release them or do I capture them. You know what? I'll be nice to this batch. We'll release this batch. When they're attacking your city versus when you're fighting them out in the field, it's always chivalrous, regardless of which of the two options you take defending the city. They came to you after all. If you're fighting them out in the field, there's a chivalry versus negative chivalry effect. The humans like chivalry, so we'll keep the humans happy for the moment. In theory, there's maybe an argument that I should... Well, there's a thin line to play there, right? Presumably I have the title already for this run. I'll double check. Oh, I don't yet. So that is something to pick up. There's an argument here that I should rock up and pick up the Merciful. Be merciful enough to get merciful. At which point, then, I just want to be merciful enough to keep the humans happy. Yeah, this is the argument there. The humans do like chivalry. Chivalry... How much chivalry do they care about? And how much do they care about? This should actually be trending up. Let's unpop... Yeah, should be trending up. So if we're 100% chivalrous, we get a full fulfillment point. It's not that big, but not that terrible either. Humans would like us if we were richer. I guess like us more if we were richer. Okay, I should follow up. Let's get the game speed moving, but follow up on market upgrades. That's mostly being held up by pottery production. Every once in a while I should check in and do two pot upgrades. I'm surprised I have that small of a warehouse for pottery, although I think that's because my pottery industry is tiny, isn't it? Yeah. I'm importing enough clay that it could be far larger, but it's tiny at the moment. Okay. Let's find another big warehouse of pots. The big warehouses are next to my major production facilities, and I don't have a major production facility for pots, so I don't have a lot of storage. See how past me was thinking. It's something that I will probably need to remedy at some point, but that probably wants to go hand in hand with having more production as well. And the other one was the hearths, but I think we finished up the hearths, didn't we? Yes, we finished up the hearths. And we've already did all the wells. Don't have the tech for the speakers. Instead of poking around for everything, I should probably check to see, check the tech tree. Which services do I need to upgrade, or could I upgrade? So, we've done food stalls, working on the markets. Got burial. Oh, I do have the stage upgrade. No, that's stage, not stage upgrade. So I've got stages, but I don't have the upgrades to them. Fair enough. We got blood sport, got nurseries. I think that makes the nurseries work faster. Not sure how that works. Got toilets. We don't have upgraded toilets. But I probably want to save up for medicine. Although upgraded toilets is... Oh no, I've got upgraded toilets. I don't have upgraded. I don't have fully upgraded toilets. Physicians would be good. That's probably an argument for getting more knowledge. Yeah, I've got my wells upgraded. Okay. Could, oh, I could add, ponds and pools and moats and such. I don't remember those have a health effect. No. No, they don't. So this is definitely more and more push. Especially now that I'm not importing as much iron to do the hearth upgrades to get that tech. Get that innovation, or get the knowledge going so I can do the upgrades to the positions. Where is my library, and can I put more people in it? The answer to can I put more people in is no. Although it wouldn't be that hard to build another one. Okay. Okay, let's just go ahead and do that. Build a second library. Stay there. Yeah, probably on that second one I'll leave the leather turned off. Because I need more knowledge, but I don't need a lot more knowledge. So I probably don't need, I need 40-ish knowledge. I don't need 80, which is what, well actually 100 is what it'd probably output. Because I've got humans going to be working it, most likely. Right, because what we want is or what I want is enough to do... Sorry about that. I assumed you did not want to hear me sneeze. Enough to do medicine here. So I only need another 24 points of knowledge. Even with the leather turned off, it should be another 50-ish. Although maybe if I did leave the leather turned on... Actually, even with the leather turned off, it'd be another 50-ish. If I turn the leather on, that'd be another 100, which would be enough to pick up medicine and, say, the toilets, I suppose. Although the toilets is probably want to hold off because I need that for... I need the pots for the marketplace upgrades, and the toilets is also more pots, isn't it? Yeah, the toilets are also more pots. Although there's maybe an argument it's better pot usage than the market upgrades. That reminds me, I should leave a little bit more space in here for livestock. Same over here. Turn the leader off there because I definitely want the 25 or so. Even though the target's going to be 50. I'm not sure if I want the second 50. We should get the pop-up in a moment that I'm over 50 and should be getting a bonus for it from experience. Although the experience bonus is already applying. You can see it's the 0.09 there. Even before the pop-up pops up. Oh, I can double check and make sure I've got housing, and I don't. I have a housing shortage. Fair enough. Now employ over 50. Yep, that's what I brought up a moment ago. So I need more Kryptonians, and I need more housing for Kryptonians, need more housing for humans. Wait. Who's living up here? Working up here that should really be... I think some of them are... I've got people that are working in weird places, because you can't restrict people on a workplace, or a specific workplace, right? So fight pits, I've got multiple fight pits in the city. So the fight pit over here, we probably want just for the Amivians. Don't think the Amivians actually care about fight pits. Just for the Amivians, right? It's the Amivian neighborhood. But if I want people to work fight pits elsewhere, I can't say, Amivians work in this fight pit, other people don't work here. So it might be that people who are not Amivians are working here. That might be contributing a little bit to the housing mismatch. Although we've got some indication. Although I've got spare Kryptonian housing down here, so it's just the right Kryptonians trying to work in neighborhoods that Kryptonians not supposed to be working in. The Kryptonians, at least. They're 50 of the people who are in the wrong spot. Yeah. And then the humans make sense, because the humans are probably the most densely housed. How do I want to work that? I suppose at some point I should take the opportunity to move the Thundorians out. The question is, where do I move them to? I think that's been, at least the children portion of it's been fixed, but the yeah, Killed and Brawl is still happening quite a bit to the Dendorians. The Dendorians need to get moved out of the human neighborhood because the humans are apparently murking them every once in a while. Which we'd prefer they weren't doing. And yeah, it's the Dendorians, the only ones that are really... We had one murder. Not sure who did that murder, but... in fact, I think we had 11 slaves and we're now up to 12. So an Amivian murdered someone. Welcome to slavery. It's don't murder people. That's how you get enslaved in the city. So yeah, the Amivians being enslaved. Yeah, I'm thinking of going down here with the gems. If I want to co-locate them with an RGO mineral extraction, that's what I gotta do, I think. It's either that or shove them in the... up here. There's a Scythian. Actually, let's go ahead and full pause and plan out. So I'm going to do planning. I'm going to see how big I need to make this to actually mine the whole thing. Which means I need to spend some innovation picking up a tech that I'm not planning on using right away. Ooh, they made the Scythian mines a lot more expensive. These used to be like 10, 20 ton lock. The unlocks are a lot more expensive. But yeah, for the moment, I want them unlocked. I don't really want them unlocked, but I want them unlocked. So I can plan what the hypothetical mine would look like. So if we run it square, it looks something like that. And we just need it to be big enough, processing-wise, that we can handle the whole mine. And again, this is in planning mode. This is likely never to be built. Well, if everything goes according to plan, this should never be built. I don't think I need civilian that badly. Yep, just seeing how I can sort of cram them in here. Because if I can pull back a little bit to save space. There we go. I can pull back in a little bit to save some space. We can allow building near the mine in. Oops. I left a closet uncovered there. Yeah, so something like that's what the mine would look like. Again, in planning mode. And in theory, because I put that in planning mode, I can actually turn planning off. I know I just spent 60 innovation on the planning here. I don't actually need this anytime soon, so I can get 50% of it back, leave it planned. So that's what the mine would look like if I were to use that mine. That way I can plan a city center around it a little bit easier, which is what I'm going to try to do. So if I'm going to do that, I need another city center, so I need one of those chunks. So I need one of you. Cozy up next to the mine. Yeah, hopefully that's far enough away. Okay, and then I need a couple housing blocks. So we'll start off by just copy and pasting some existing human blocks. Because we've already got them pre-mixed with the Dorian, and I can just change the fill. So that should be enough to house 200. In theory, I've only got 200 endurance, but if they stop dying, they might migrate in, which is kind of what I'm hoping for. That's why we're moving them. So we'll go up to 300. We'll let that build out. Looking at the time, we're up at an hour, so I'm going to build this out. I'm going to finish moving the Dundorians in. They'll be a little bit away from work is going to be the first concern. So there'll be a little bit of high transit time for their existing work sites. Might make enough stone that I can do more masonry, probably. You go ahead and add another batch of stone warehousing and masonry in between the Garthemi and effectively the new Dondorian housing. And then that'll free up 160 houses in the human area, because we'll kick all the Nodorians out of the human area so the humans stop killing them. Sounds like a plan. Let's see if we can get that plan to fruition. In the meantime, I'm going to stop upgrading, or stop trying to upgrade markets and food stalls, because I need the pots for the food stalls and markets over here. I suppose these are the unupgraded markets, so these markets don't have any pots in them, but the food stalls are coffee-based upgraded ones. I think while I'm building, I can designate these houses, right? Yeah. Okay, so these are just going to be Dondorian, but we will do Dondorian free and slave. No humans in there, but slaves can be there. And then humans, free and slave. We don't have any slaves, and I'm probably not going to keep any slaves, but I'm going to start kicking out the Dondorians. Here we go. And you're not being maintained. Where's my closest janitor? There. Which doesn't reach that far. Fair enough, that explains why it's not working. So arguably that means if I'm going to continue expanding eastward, and I think I am, for the humans. Yeah, I think I am for the humans. I should add another city center area in. Your health is terrible. Okay, well, upgrade your well, then. The long-term solution to that. Fix your health. There we go, fix that regional problem. Did I get enough? I did get enough knowledge in the end. Let's pop over and unlock medicine. So I can then start distributing one at a time. I probably need to import more tools. I need to put more warehousing for tools, but start going around one at a time and upgrading those physicians. Of course, the first step to upgrading the physicians is figure out where my physicians are. There we go. So 100 tools into the first one for more physicians. That'll provide another health boost. In theory, we can get up to 4x. If we have full access, full service coverage to everyone for physicians. 100% access, 100% proximity, 100% quality, 100% upgrade should provide a full multiplier 4. We're going to get a little bit short of that, but we don't need to get all the way there. I think to offset, well, not with the food servings distributed, we're not get backed up to 1. Although we are uncomfortably low at the moment. Might need to distribute even more food. I need to back up a little bit on the ration production. I am making a little bit too much my bread into rations. Let's take like 10 off. Okay, and the brawls killing Dondorians have come to a close. Given enough days, they should forgive us for all those brawls. service needs are dropping at the moment because their new neighborhood is got less access to services, but that'll also improve. Okay, humans are still complaining about housing. I'm a little bit surprised about that. Well, these even upgraded houses. Oh, they're... I guess it's just humans trying to work in places where there's no human housing. That's probably what's going on. Because these houses aren't full. These houses hold 12 people? Ah, that one's full. There's supposed to be archery training. They need to train. You have 10 facilities for training. And the facility is, in theory, training you. Why do I have human recruits training at my archery range? Yeah, human recruits and Catoni recruits training my archery range. You're Okay, so the other way to work that around is this is recruit limit. No, that's not what I want. I want it to recruit. I want it to have up to 10 people training, but I don't want them to be raw recruits. I want them to be the archers training. Disease at the doorstep, yeah. Okay, so we're about to have a plague. This isn't particularly useful given the circumstances, but it is what it is. Okay, so there's definitely enough Dundorian housing. If the Dundorians are living in the right neighborhood, and they're probably not. Let's be fair, they're probably not. They're probably trying to work in work sites that are too far away from the housing. Which is the struggle with running mixed race people, or mixed race cities. Yeah, it's the struggle trying to run mixed race cities. Having housing issues, although these could be humans. I suppose that could be. Well, that'd be unusual because humans have got an empty house here, so it's probably Dundorians trying to work here. Yeah, it's Dundorians trying to still work at the Carpenter that's too far away from them. Same thing with the Weaver here. It's Catonians in there. Okay. Well, for the moment, I think this is a good place to put the part break in. We've got the two new neighborhoods effectively built. So I've got housing. People actually move to the right neighborhood. I've got housing for them. So the 70 Dundorians who don't feel like they have enough housing, the answer is, well, you're not living in the right neighborhood. Or not trying to live in the right neighborhood. Because they want to work in a job that's far away from the housing. There's things I can do to fix that, which is I can rearrange the jobs. Prioritize the Catonians or the Dundorians to working in jobs that are actually close to where they live. That sort of stuff. And vice versa, I can prioritize the humans. Apparently the Weavers is one of the places I'm going to have to fix as well, because I've got a lot of Catonians coming in to work the Weavers. The Catonian population is fairly large. I probably don't have enough jobs in the Catonian-focused industries, right, which is farming. Yeah, it's only 100-something there. Baking. Technically ration making, so I could probably move the ration maker. Yeah, that's why they're coming over and working the weaving, because I think the weaving is the next best thing for them. Is weaving the next best thing for them? Yeah, it's all the refining stuff. It's food production, refining. Well, they don't like metal smelting, charcoalers. Are they the best at, they are the best at weaving. Okay. So that's an argument that I should move my weaver. I've got the weaver in the human district. I should actually move it to the Cretonian districts. I can do that. That can be done. We still got to keep the tailor... Oh, I suppose the tailor actually wants to move to the Dundorian district. Yeah. Yeah, we'll think about doing that in the next one. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll have another part up tomorrow. I'm already 12 minutes over this part on the short stream. Again, this should be the part that's coming up on the 1st of July. If you're watching this on YouTube, that should be the part that's coming up. Obviously, you're watching this on Twitch. You're either watching the VOD or you're watching it being streamed live on the 29th. We are going to record one more part tonight. This is going to be a short stream night because I've been up, arguably West Coast time. I've been up since 1:30 in the morning. So, and it's coming up on midnight in another hour or so. So, I should get to sleep relatively soon. So we're going to keep this a short 2-hour stream. We're going to have a normal 4-hour length stream of Song of Six tomorrow if you're watching on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, obviously that will be yesterday for you. So expect there to be parts coming up for the next 6 days. Although I can only guarantee at this point that there'll be a part coming up tomorrow because we're going to record one more part. So with that, I'm going to wish everyone the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and or stream, and bye for now.